At halftime, the Kansas City Chiefs were down 24-14, and Philadelphia looked like it had wrested control of Super Bowl 57. And then Patrick Mahomes happened. The Chiefs poured on 24 in the second half. They get Patrick Mahomes' second Super Bowl title, Andy Reid's second Super Bowl title in a 38-35 win. Joining me now, Chris Clark from Locked On Chiefs, who is holding back a smile. And Chris, what was the difference in the second half for this Chiefs team, who really locked in, especially on offense, but on defense as well? They only gave up 11 in the second half.
I just want to point out really quick, not only was this a matter of being down 10 points, but you also looked like you possibly could have lost Mahomes right before that halftime.
That's a good point.
Right before they went to half. He came out and he played phenomenal. And quite frankly, I know that he played a fantastic game. Kadarius Toney made a huge difference in this game. His first touchdown was amazing, but his punt return to put them on the 5-yard line to basically give them another touchdown was phenomenal. And that's exactly why they wanted him here.
And that is a midseason acquisition that ultimately helps them win a Super Bowl. It's also an acquisition that helped them mitigate the loss of Tyreek Hill. They go out and Patrick Mahomes becomes the first MVP since Kurt Warner in 1999 to win the Super Bowl. I think we had a feeling the Chiefs were going to be able to score points in this game. What was Kansas City able to do in the second half to try and keep their offense in it with a chance to go up late to get this win? Because the defense, they found ways to mitigate some of those big plays they were giving up in the first half.
Yeah, on offense, it just looked like Kansas City's offensive line went out there in the second half and decided, and quite frankly, a little bit in the first half too, but they decided they weren't going to let Pat Mahomes get sacked. And for a game where you have both of the best pass rushing teams in the NFL and you have one sack, which really didn't really even feel like a sack because I don't think Saunders really got him, but it is what it is. And you look at this game and you look at what the offense was able to do. They were able to spread the ball around. Travis Kelce had a huge first half. He had a couple of catches in the second half. Juju Smith-Schuster got the ball moving and really, made them pay on defense at different times throughout the game. And then Pacheco was able to run the ball very effectively. And then, like I said, the Kadarius Toney route, I thought that was phenomenal. It was great play design by Andy Reid. And not only do they get that touchdown there, but then Andy Reid basically comes out, and I'm sorry, but I'll say it. He basically comes out and he dunks on the Philadelphia defensive coordinator because he does it again with Sky Moore from the other side.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid was in his bag like he was Mary Poppins in this game. And I think if there's anyone that has a legacy moment here, like Patrick Mahomes is going to have 10, 15 more years to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best. We don't know what the runway here is on Andy Reid. And to get that extra title, I don't know. I think you could make the case that this means more to him than anyone else.
Yeah, especially against his former team. I mean, you look
right?
at the fact that it was against the Eagles, and how much is that going to mean to Andy Reid? He tried to downplay it. He's a class guy, but you know that it really meant something to him to go up against his old former team and be able to get a Super Bowl victory. And he coached his ass off. They did phenomenal. And I did find it interesting because Reid said after the game, Eric Bieniemy did such a fantastic job. You have to wonder if this is going to be the end of Bieniemy in Kansas City.
And it was looking like for a while that he was going to have to take an offensive coordinator job outside of KC just to prove, hey, I am part of the thing that is helping here. It's not just Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. There has been an interesting discussion on Patrick Mahomes and his legacy. 27 years old already, has 2 league MVPs, has 2 Super Bowl wins, the youngest to put together the hardware that he has. In a year where Tom Brady retires, it seems somewhat fitting that Mahomes is where he is. Is it too soon to be talking about what he needs to do to get into the Tom Brady territory? Are we verging into hyperbole here?
I don't think so. I think that it is the right time to start talking about that because you start looking at what this Super Bowl is going to mean. And Tom Brady is a different situation. He won 7 Super Bowls. Whether or not Mahomes ever gets there, a lot of people, and I think this is probably the valid thought process in the league, Mahomes is probably one of the most talented quarterbacks that's ever played the game. Mm-hmm. Talent-wise, he is more talented than Tom Brady. That I don't think many
But
people
so is
would
Aaron
question
Rodgers.
that.
He hasn't won
No,
on the
no,
same
no,
level.
no.
Like,
Absolutely, no. And I'm not trying to take anything away from that. I'm just saying he is more talented than Tom Brady. He has the opportunity to go and chase Brady's records in a lot of different ways. If he has seasons like he did this year, it'll be a lot quicker than most people think. And he looks like he wants to play for the next 10 to 15 years. So I think it's going to be a good situation for him. And I do think that that is a conversation that can start now that he's won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years.